This guy had no idea that this random cringy hand sign he just threw up would actually activate the power of a medicine god, and he quickly figured out what was up. That blue glowing spot he saw through the hole in his fingers? It just so happened to be right where his white-haired teacher was injured. But right now, our MC has no clue how OP this ability is. So, he just blurts out his discovery to the white-haired girl. But saying that out loud, big mistake. Because the ability to see anyone's illness is the legendary divine eye, exclusive to the medicine god. And what's even more mind-blowing is that our MC has no shadow. This completely freaks the white-haired girl out. I mean, all the signs are pointing to one thing, our boy IS, the medicine god. The teacher's mind is absolutely blown. She has no idea what to do. So she just turns and bolts for home. Our MC just pictures the molecular structure of water in his head. 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom, and in the next second, something insane happens. A gush of water just erupts from his palm. But here's the kicker. Our boy has no clue how to turn it off. With no other choice, he just aims the water out the window, and aiming it out was a terrible idea, because, just his luck, it sprays all over the maid. Turns out, in his past life, our MC was a medical professor. He watched his little sister die from cancer when they were kids. After that tragedy, he made a solemn vow. He would create a drug to cure cancer, no matter what. From then on, his life was a simple, grueling routine. He was either in the lab running experiments, or on his way to the lab to run more experiments. He'd always pull all-nighters, working overtime. The only breaks he ever took were while waiting for test results. But he never ever expected that what was supposed to be a 40-minute nap would end with him waking up to a completely different world. Staring at these strange surroundings, our MC is totally lost and confused. But when he glances at the alarm clock on his wrist, he instantly realizes he's been isekai'd. So, let this be a lesson, never work overtime. You might just get reincarnated into another world. The maid sees the young master is awake and rushes over to tell him he was in a coma because he got struck by lightning. Trying not to seem suspicious, he just rolls with the maid's story. And so he claims that because of the lightning strike, he's lost all his memories. Luckily for him, the maid isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. She totally buys his ridiculous story and starts giving him a tour of his own house. From the maid, he learns that this is a world of medicine and magic. His name is Falma de Medicis. His father is a royal court pharmacist who personally treats the emperor. And this beauty next to him, who looks like my girlfriend, is his wife. Maybe the heavens are looking out for him, because in this world he has a little sister. His older brother is studying abroad. He's overseas at the moment. As for our MC, when she talks about him, the maid proudly declares that he's a genius user of water magic. The second she says that, the maid is stunned. Could it be that he's forgotten how to use his divine arts? See, being able to use divine arts is the mark of a noble. If what he's saying is actually true, he could literally be disowned and kicked out of the house. Hearing this, our boy starts to panic. He has to fix this. He racks his brain. I mean, he finally got isekai'd. He's not about to lose his noble status. So, he decides to give it a try. He remembers the maid telling him that to use divine arts, you have to picture the shape of water in your mind. He has no idea what that's supposed to mean, but based on his past life knowledge of water, maybe he can find the answer by breaking down its molecular structure. So, no time to waste, he gets right to it. When this science nerd breaks down Huo into a hydrogen bond network model, the god of magic in the heavens lets out a deafening roar. At the same time, a strange marking appears on his arm. And just like that, the first ever cheat in isekai history who casts spells based on electron orbitals is born. But he doesn't get to celebrate for long. Since this is his first time casting a divine art, he has no idea how to make it stop. In a panic, our MC can only aim the flood of water out the window. After that, he tries out some other divine arts. And you won't believe it, but besides water, he can easily create compounds like gold. He also makes another huge discovery. His left hand can create matter, and his right hand can destroy it. Just as he's trying to wrap his head around this, a knock at the door snaps him out of it. Turns out, it's the maid. She saw from outside that he could use his divine arts, and while she's super happy for him, the maid suddenly remembers something important. Falma's father loves to quiz them on pharmacology at dinner. If he can't answer because of his amnesia, he's definitely getting punished. Hearing this, our MC starts panicking all over again. Seriously, what kind of family is this? Can't they just eat in peace? Why all the questions? So, with the maid leading the way, our boy rushes to the study for a last-minute cram session. Even though the letters are all unfamiliar, luckily, this body still remembers how to read. After skimming through a few books, he realizes this is all just centuries-old medical knowledge. I mean, in his past life, our MC was a top-tier medical genius. This stuff is a piece of cake for him. And just like that, it's dinner time. As expected, his father hits him with a seriously tough question. When extracting from the root of a white nettle, should you use the part grown in the sun or the part grown in the shade? The pressure's on. But our MC doesn't even flinch. He answers flawlessly, flowing from one point to the next. His father is totally impressed. Seeing that the lightning strike didn't affect his son's knowledge, he asks if he's well enough to resume his lessons. After getting a yes, time skips to the next day. The young woman before him is his private tutor, but the more she looks at him, the more something feels off. It feels like he's a completely different person. Seeing that she's getting suspicious, our MC quickly brings up the whole amnesia from the lightning strike excuse. Hearing this, she finally drops her suspicions. Once she learns he hasn't forgotten his divine arts, and remembering that divine arts are the mark of a noble, she decides to skip the pharmacology lesson today. Instead, they're going to review divine arts. Divine arts are split into 5 elements: wind, fire, water, and earth. Each element is subdivided into positive and negative attributes. As for the non-elemental attribute, you can just ignore it, because in this entire world, the teacher looks at him, totally exasperated. That kind of thing just doesn't exist. If someone really had that kind of power, they'd either be a god or a monster. Hearing this, our MC is completely stunned. After explaining the basics of divine arts, his teacher takes him outside for some hands-on practice. She pulls out a magic staff and hands it to him. She tells him to start by casting water javelin. This is giving his teacher a major headache. Looks like she'll have to show him to jog his memory. So, she decides to give him a little demonstration. After her demo, she hands the staff back to our MC. Just picture the divine art in your mind. Then chant water javelin to cast it. Whoa. This scene absolutely blows the teacher's mind. Not just because the water javelin he cast was way too powerful, but more importantly, he just cast a divine art without an incantation. And right at that moment, the teacher suddenly realizes something. See, everyone's power level can fluctuate, but her total divine power is fixed. If that massive spell he just cast used up all his power, then that's it. With that, she quickly pulls out a divine power tester for him. His teacher never could have imagined that our MC's divine power would break the scale, and on top of that, he has both positive and negative attributes. Her jaw completely drops, so she frantically checks his arm again, and sure enough, it's just as she suspected. The marking on his arm is the crest of the medicine god. After ordering him not to tell a single soul about this, the teacher clams up. She's in no mood to continue the lesson, so she ends the class for the day and gets ready to head home. But she's so shocked she can barely see straight. Our MC rushes over to help her. After walking a bit, they take a break on a bench. Sensing the super awkward atmosphere, our MC quickly tries to make small talk. He tells her that if your vision is blurry, you can try making a tiny hole with your fingers to look through. It'll help you see things a bit clearer. He was just trying to teach her a neat little trick for her bad eyesight, but he never expected that when HE made the circle with his own fingers, he'd suddenly have X-ray vision. To test out what he's seeing, he immediately grabs his teacher's hand. And now, our MC is even more sure of his guess. When it finds a problem, a blue light appears. When it diagnoses the problem, it emits a white light. This is basically a portable X-ray machine. He asks his teacher if this is some kind of divine art too, but the second the words leave his mouth, he regrets it. Because his teacher is now completely and utterly terrified. Because only the medicine god can see through every single illness. And what our MC just did is all the proof she needs that HE is the medicine god. Then, she notices something else, something absolutely terrifying. Time skips to the next day. His father asks him if he knows why his teacher suddenly came down with a fever, and on top of that, she wants to quit her job as his tutor. Of course, our boy knows exactly what's going on, but he can't just come out and say it. All he can say is that she might be really sick. So his father gives him a bottle of medicine to take to her. Back in his room, our MC realizes this potion won't do anything for a fever. At best, it's basically just a vitamin drink. To help his teacher get better faster, our MC creates his own custom-made medicine. Then he heads over to his teacher's house. But he never ever expected to find his teacher fully decked out in armor. It's like she's terrified the medicine god is here to erase her from existence. He quickly tries to explain that he's just here as a delivery boy. He's just dropping off medicine from his dad, that's all. For a second, she starts to let her guard down. But when he says he's delivering medicine, she tenses up all over again. She can easily make this kind of cold medicine herself. So why in the world would his dad send him to deliver it? Seeing how terrified she is, our MC has to keep explaining. First off, he's not carrying any weapons. And second, he's really just here to give her the medicine. He has no intention of hurting her. In fact, it's the opposite. He needs her now more than ever. Turns out, he's a total noob when it comes to divine arts. And there are barely any books about it in his family's library. Without her, even with all this immense power, he has no idea how to control it. Just as he says this, he pulls a bouquet of flowers out of nowhere and gives them to her. After thanking her for yesterday's lesson, our MC gives a deep, respectful bow, leaving his teacher completely stunned and confused. Right after he leaves, she's left wondering if she should take the medicine he gave her. What if it's actually poison? What's she supposed to do then? But just as she's thinking this, she sees the flowers our MC gave her on the table. They're her favorite color, sky blue. Then she remembers the words our MC just said to her. And besides, all the legends say the medicine god is here to save people. In that moment, her heart is set. That's right. She chooses to trust him. The next day, she shows up for class in her full suit of armor again. Even though she's not totally against him anymore, she's still planning to keep a close eye on him for a while. Under her guidance, our MC starts to get the hang of divine arts. He still can't fully control his power, but at least he's getting better. Back at the mansion, our MC doesn't take a break. Whenever he's free, he's exploring the power of his divine eye. He analyzes the illnesses of everyone in the household and uses his past life knowledge to prescribe the right treatments. If he doesn't have the right ingredients, he just creates them from scratch using his chemistry knowledge. Like this hand cream with a 2.5-year shelf life. It's the perfect thing for preventing dry skin after a hard day's work. He then hands out other medicines to the servants. But what our MC didn't expect was that after getting the medicine, all the servants were moved to tears. But to him, these are just ordinary medicines. That's when the maid explains it to him. Commoners like them aren't even allowed to be treated by noble pharmacists. And even if a kind pharmacist does see them, the medicine is incredibly expensive. They just can't afford it. As he walks through the estate with the maid, our MC's heart feels heavy. And so, our MC makes a new resolution. He's going to make medicine affordable for everyone. Later, he heads to the dining room for dinner. But just then, our MC gets some unexpected news. His father tells him his little sister has chickenpox. It's contagious and she needs to be quarantined for 14 days. With their current medical technology, there's nothing they can do. So, his father orders everyone to stay out of his sister's room. But there's one important detail. This body already had chickenpox 4 years ago, which means he's now immune. In his past life, he couldn't save his sister from cancer. This time, he absolutely refuses to let his sister be taken by illness again. Our MC rushes to the pharmacy room. Using his past life experience, he thinks up several different drugs, but their molecular weight is too great. He can't create any of these medicines. So, he has to choose a cyclovir, which has a smaller molecular weight. As he forms the molecular structure, the crest on his shoulder begins to glow again. After creating the powdered medicine, our MC sneaks into his sister's room. Looking at his sister's body, covered in a red rash, a pang of pain hits his heart. He immediately activates his divine eye. After confirming it's chickenpox, he pulls out the medicine he made. But his sister complains that the medicine is too bitter. She absolutely refuses to take it. With no other choice, he hides the medicine inside a macaron. After all, no kid can resist a sweet treat. After eating it, his sister is confused. She remembers their father telling her that there's no cure for chickenpox. So how does her brother have medicine for it? Just then, his sister starts to feel itchy again. Our MC quickly tells her not to scratch. After calming his sister down, the next day arrives. His father is the first to learn that his sister's chickenpox has cleared up. But when he curiously asks his daughter how it happened, his father can only chalk it up to his sister having a strong constitution. A few days after this incident, our MC builds a Leeuwenhoek-style single-lens microscope. Even without his divine eye, he can easily analyze and identify bacteria. At the same time, the butler suddenly approaches him. He says his father wants to see him, and when he gets to the room, just today, our MC accompanies his father to the royal court. All the best doctors in the entire country have gathered here. But what shocks our MC is that the ruler of this country is a woman on the verge of death. It turns out the reason they're here is to diagnose the queen's illness. His father first takes a drop of blood from her hand and puts it into a test tube. He then uses magic to analyze it. Once the results are in, his father's expression becomes grave. As the Empress's personal physician, he can't allow even the slightest error. So, without hesitation, he seeks out the country's diviner. But the result he gets is that the star chart is not looking good. After combining it with the blood sample, the diviner's conclusion is exactly the same. The Empress probably doesn't have much time left. Faced with the incurable White Death, even his father, who's at the pinnacle of this world's medicine, can only give the Empress medicine to alleviate her symptoms. Our MC thought this was just a treatment to ease her pain. That's the only reason he chose it. However, when he hears a minister say that tomorrow night is the critical moment, our MC finally understands. Everyone has already given up on treatment. They're preparing to euthanize the Empress. This makes our MC realize he can't just stand by and watch anymore. After seeing the Empress's condition, our MC immediately realizes how tricky this is. That's because this world has no syringes. The only way to treat the Empress is with oral medication, and he needs at least 4 different kinds of drugs. Among them, rifampicin is essential, but its molecular weight is relatively large, and its chemical structure is extremely complex. It's incredibly difficult to visualize accurately. If it fails, the Empress will be euthanized. Just at that moment, the Empress's children suddenly burst in. They run to her bedside, as if they understand their mother is about to pass away. Perhaps this is the so-called connection between mother and child. Everyone sees this scene, and though they can't bear it, there's nothing they can do. This moment also strikes a chord deep within our MC. He makes his decision, and so he walks resolutely towards the Empress. Before the Empress can even react, his father yanks him back. This is not something a child can solve. Perhaps feeling her time is short, the Empress ignores everyone's pleas. With a "let's just try it" attitude, the Empress chooses to trust our MC. As the Empire's #1 divine art user, she doesn't need anyone else's advice to judge a person. Next, our MC heads to the laboratory. He immediately freezes the door shut. No matter how his father shouts from outside, our MC remains unmoved. He has to calm himself down right now. To prevent the tuberculosis bacteria from developing resistance, he needs to combine at least 3 to 4 different drugs. And these 4 drugs are ogarcinizid, pyrazinamide, ethambutol, and the final one is rifampicin. This is the most complex of the 4 drugs. Our MC extends his divine left hand. Although the structure of rifampicin has appeared in his mind, he still needs to refine the accuracy of every single detail. This isn't a child's game. You can't just prescribe a few digestive pills and call yourself a doctor. What's more, the White Death is an incurable disease. This makes his father's heart tremble. He has no idea how his son knows about this. But before he can get an answer, our MC is already back to researching the medicine. Suddenly, a blast of water destroys the paper in his hands. His father has already taken an attack stance. If his son can't give him an explanation, and if that bowl truly contains poison, then he won't hesitate to take down his own kin. In this critical moment, our MC waves his hand, nullifying the attack. Then, he instantly summons a wall of ice, separating the 2 of them. Seeing this, his father is completely stunned. His own son can somehow use non-incantation magic. Even the Empress can't use such a high-level technique. He even starts to doubt if this is truly his son. Faced with his father's questions, our MC chooses to remain silent. And at that moment, his father notices our MC's notebook. The book is filled with characters he has never seen before. Seeing that he can't hide it any longer, our MC can only tell his father that on the day he was struck by lightning, he had a strange dream. All this text is the medical knowledge that appeared in his dream. As the words leave his mouth, his father recognizes the medicine god's crest on his arm. This makes his father understand everything. It turns out there's only one truth. His son has received the blessing of the medicine god. Since that's the case, his father doesn't say another word. Our MC originally wanted to give the credit to his father, letting him personally give the medicine to the Empress. But his father flatly refuses. It seems our MC underestimated his old man's integrity. See, the Empress put her trust in him, not his father. So, he must be the one to present the medicine. Soon, our MC brings the medicine to the Empress. He's even made a mask for himself to prevent infection. Just then, his father follows him in. The minister is confused. Why didn't he stop his son? His father explains that his son's skills have already surpassed their own. Perhaps, right now, he can actually cure the Empress. The minister is completely astonished by the father's words. Before giving the medicine to the Empress, it's Our MC takes out the microscope he made. He also has a sample of the Empress's saliva. He wants the Empress to see the tuberculosis bacteria for herself. The Empress takes the microscope and holds it up to the light. In that instant, she is utterly shocked. She never imagined that inside her own lungs, there were so many tiny living things. She quickly calls her attendants over to look as well. The minister takes the microscope and looks, and is equally stunned. This completely shatters their understanding of medicine. The microscope that our MC brought out has just completely overturned the current concept of disease. After explaining the cause of the Empress's illness, our MC divides the medicine into 2 portions. He takes 1 cup for himself and hands the other to the Empress. After proving that it's not poison and seeing how confident he is, the Empress drinks it down without a second thought. If she drinks this for a year, her white death will be completely cured. On the way back, his father stares out the window, completely silent. In this moment, he finally has an awakening. He was wrong from the very beginning. He has never done a single thing that a father is supposed to do. Since our MC created the cure for the White Death, 6 months have passed. The Empress's White Death has been completely cured. Today is the important day of the Empress's return to the throne. The father brings our MC for an audience with her. Because during her illness, our MC's contribution to her recovery was incredible. The Empress rewards his father with a plot of land, a place filled with countless medicinal herbs. As for our MC, the real hero of the story, the Empress promotes him from an apprentice to a full-fledged court pharmacist. Then, she grants him the special right to open his own pharmacy in the capital. This surprise comes out of nowhere. Our MC can't help but glance over at the Empress's son. In that instant, he totally gets it. The prince was the one behind all of this. See, our MC had told him before that his dream was to open his own pharmacy. After the award ceremony wraps up, our MC heads home. But he never ever expected that the Empress would move so quickly. His house is already swarming with the best craftsmen around, and they need him to whip up the design blueprints ASAP. They have to start construction today. Otherwise, they won't just lose their jobs. They might literally lose their heads. With no other choice, our MC is forced to draw up the plans for his dream pharmacy. With the plans ready, the workers get started right away. But now, they need our MC to come up with a name, and fast. Looking at the pharmacy that's finally his, our MC thinks long and hard but can't make up his mind. Imperial Capital Pharmacy seems a bit too extra, but using his family name doesn't feel right either. I mean, he never imagined he'd actually be opening a pharmacy in another world. But saying that out loud was a mistake, because the second he muttered that, a worker latched onto a key phrase. And just like that, the parallel world pharmacy officially hangs its sign. But our MC has a worried look on his face. And just his luck, his white-haired teacher happens to see him. She thinks he's worried about the name. So she tries to comfort him, saying that no matter what name he chose, he'd still have to face off against the Pharmacists Guild eventually, because a noble opening their own pharmacy is completely unheard of. The moment she finishes speaking, a snarky voice pipes up from behind them. The newcomer is none other than the head of the Imperial Pharmacists Guild. After learning that our MC is the owner of this shop, the guildmaster looks at him with pure disdain. What are you selling here, Candy? That's about all a kid can sell in his own shop. This leaves the guildmaster completely stunned. He can use professional terminology. It looks like this kid has actually done his homework. But since you've decided to start a business, then you'll have to join our franchise. We don't usually accept nobles, but if you beg a little, we might be able to make an exception. Hearing this, our MC shuts him down immediately. Seeing him continue to bully a kid, the white-haired teacher can't take it anymore. The guildmaster is completely terrified. He doesn't dare to argue any further. He quickly makes up an excuse and gets out of there. But soon, our MC runs into another problem. Sales and customer service. He and his teacher can handle that. But who's going to manage the finances? That's suddenly become a huge issue. Just as he's thinking about this, the maid bravely volunteers herself. This immediately makes our MC's face darken. This lovable idiot of a maid, he has other plans for her. That evening, our MC returns home. But as soon as he steps inside, he sees his little sister and a group of servants crying. He rushes over and asks what happened. And when he asks, he finds out that his father had just dismissed the head financial manager of the household. Everyone is really going to miss him. In fact, he really wanted to keep working. But because of an injury to his knee, his father told him to retire early. Hearing this, our MC thinks for a moment. I happen to need an accountant, and you're the perfect fit for the job. As for your knee, I'll heal it for you. After saying this, he rushes to find his father. He wants to get his approval first. But what happens next is completely unexpected. It's as if his father knew he was coming. Not only does he agree to his son's request, but he also gives him some startup capital for the new shop. Although his father is being a bit indirect, our MC knows that the manager's dismissal was no coincidence. This was another gift from his father. But when he looks over at him, his father just awkwardly turns his head away. After everyone rushes to get things done, the parallel world pharmacy is finally open for business. But unexpectedly, business is absolutely terrible. After a bit of on-the-street investigation, he realizes just how tough the pharmacy business is. Commoners only trust the old, well-established pharmacies. Nobles, on the other hand, have their own private doctors. On top of that, there are a bunch of other ridiculous reasons, like not knowing the proper etiquette for speaking to nobles. The shop's logo is too scary. The guards at the door aren't handsome enough. They can't read the sign, and so on. These are all reasons why the pharmacy is empty. But of course, the most important reason is his youthful appearance isn't enough to inspire trust. All these reasons mean the pharmacy currently has only one regular customer. Every time he visits, he buys some whistle candies for seasickness. Their main ingredient is vitamin C. They're also great for preventing scurvy. This makes our MC suspect the old man is a sailor. But when he mentions this suspicion to him, the old man gets flustered and quickly leaves. Curious, our MC follows him. He sees the old man casually chatting with two nobles. He starts to form a theory in his head. This shop looks so beautiful. A familiar voice interrupts our MC's thoughts. From their ridiculous disguises, it's easy to see it's his parents. They're clearly here to check on the shop incognito. After all, this is their son's first business venture. After a big, awkward family reunion scene, our MC gives them a tour of the shop. The first two floors are for patients. The third floor is a break room for the staff. And the fourth floor is his private research lab. After the tour, his father is very satisfied. But when he asks about how busy the shop is, our MC feels a bit down. He was just about to brush it off with a vague answer, but his mother already knows what's up. She suggests the pharmacy could start selling some cosmetics. As long as the price is fair, both commoners and nobles would be flocking to buy them. Her words give our MC a spark of inspiration. In his past life, he not only had experience working with cosmetics companies, but he also conducted tests specifically for beauty products. His father has no objection to selling cosmetics either, but he gives his son one strict order. He's forbidden from selling white lead powder. That stuff goes against all medical principles. Using it frequently will shorten your life. It's the same concept as women who let blood just to whiten their skin. Their conversation gives our MC a deeper understanding of this world. On one hand, he admires his father, but on the other, he can't help but feel sorry for women like his mother. In ancient times, white powder contained tons of harmful heavy metals. When applied, it would be inhaled into the body. In body and noses, a panicked voice cries out. A man is asking to see the pharmacist here. His young mistress has suddenly collapsed. Hearing this, our MC rushes to the scene. The unconscious girl in his arms is the sick young mistress. Seeing no external injuries on the patient, our MC immediately activates his divine eye. He scans every part of her body. After a quick observation, a cut on the girl's vein catches his attention. Thinking back to the conversation with his parents, he knows she's a classic example of someone who let blood for skin whitening. After returning to the pharmacy, our MC starts writing a prescription while listening to the girl's heartbreaking love story. The guy she liked preferred girls with fair skin, so he dumped her. And bloodletting is the current viral secret to getting whiter skin. Hearing this, our MC's expression turns serious. Since he was already planning to create cosmetics, he tells the girl to come back to the shop in a week. By then, they'll have launched a green, non-toxic skin whitening product. A week flies by in the blink of an eye. The girl returns to the pharmacy as promised. What's in front of her is a custom whitening package designed just for her. It contains no toxic white lead or bone powder. Plus, the titanium dioxide in it can effectively block UV rays. Although the girl has no idea what our MC is talking about, when the final makeup is set, her eyes well up with happy tears. She's confident she can win back that 2.5-year relationship. And just like that, with a new brand ambassador, the pharmacy's business takes off like a rocket. Because the prices are quite affordable, the cosmetics explode in popularity among the commoners. Even 20-year-old programmers can't resist. The store is always sold out the moment new products are released. Realizing that one pharmacy can't handle the demand, our MC and the young lady team up. They decide to focus on cosmetics, and launch a separate subsidiary company. As for the employees, the young lady already has them picked out. They're all female physicians who couldn't find work because they'd been pregnant. Our MC has opened the first people's hospital in this world of physicians. But business is extremely slow. That's because commoners are used to going to old, established commoner pharmacists, and nobles just have pharmacists come directly to their homes. So our MC's Empress-approved pharmacy is stuck in the middle. Its position is incredibly awkward. The team sits in a meeting room trying to figure out how to attract more customers. After a long discussion, they still have no answers. I mean, there are barely any court pharmacists in the entire country. Plus, our MC is the son of a high-ranking noble. A pharmacy with that kind of double status, ordinary commoners wouldn't dare to step inside. Just when they're at a complete loss, the pink-haired maid walks in. She conducted a survey among the commoners. She asked them the question, "What do you think of the parallel world pharmacy?" The most common answer was, they think the royal seal of approval is terrifying. The second most common was not knowing the proper way to speak to a noble. They're afraid they'll mess up and be punished. The last few reasons were being afraid of being underdressed. The guards at the entrance are intimidating, and the pharmacy owner is just a little kid. But the biggest issue was that the prices for medicine were negotiable. He wanted to set prices based on each person's financial situation, but it completely backfired. It just made commoners assume the prices were all super expensive. Although they've identified the problems, these aren't things that can be fixed overnight. But at least, after being open for so long, the shop has its first regular customer. He's an old man. Every time he comes, he buys some candy for sea voyages. It's to supplement his vitamin C and prevent scurvy while at sea. But our MC is a bit confused. Does this old man really go out to sea so often at his age? He casually asks him about it. The moment the old man hears the question, he immediately says someone is waiting for him outside. And with that, he walks out. Our MC senses that something is a little off, so he follows him outside. As soon as he gets to the door, he sees the old man chatting with a few people dressed as merchants. Just as he's wondering what their relationship is, a voice interrupts him. Our MC is left speechless by his parents' little act. Dressed like that, were they afraid he wouldn't recognize them? But since they're here, the 4 is not the number of these and prized. Our MC decides to give his parents a proper tour. He wants them to really see the pharmacy their son built. Seeing that all the facilities are top-notch, our MC's parents are super impressed. After the tour, his dad asks him how business is going. Our MC has to awkwardly admit that they're still trying to solve, the problem of commoners being too scared to come inside. That's when his mom comes up with a plan. Why don't you start by making some cosmetics? Get them trending among the nobles first. As long as the price is right, the commoners will be lining up to buy them too. But his father has one condition. He's forbidden from selling white lead powder because that stuff is full of harmful heavy metals like lead and chromium. Sure, the whitening effect is amazing, but using it long-term will cause serious damage to your body. His father also mentions that recently, a lot of women have started resorting to bloodletting to make their skin look paler. He warns our MC to never get involved in that kind of shady business. Just as they're talking, someone bursts in. Apparently, their young mistress has collapsed. They need a pharmacist to save her. Seeing that someone is in critical condition, our MC drops everything and rushes to help. Aboard the carriage, our MC sees the patient's face is pale, but she can still talk normally, so she's likely still conscious. He activates his divine eye to see what the problem is. He scans her whole body but finds nothing wrong. Finally, he notices some scratches on her arm. The cuts are made directly over a vein. He can tell it was done by a professional. So he rules out the possibility of self-harm. Remembering what his father just said, it seems this girl underwent bloodletting for skin whitening. Now that he knows the problem, he has them take her back to the pharmacy. He prescribes her some medicine to treat her anemia. The head manager sees the girl's expensive clothes and immediately recognizes her as the daughter of the great entrepreneur Sandrine. It turns out the man she loves rejected her for not being pale enough. That's why she resorted to bloodletting to whiten her skin, but she lost too much blood and passed out. Our MC sees that this girl is hopelessly in love, so he tells her to stop using the white lead powder and stop the bloodletting. Come back in a week and I'll have the newest whitening product for you. A week flashes by in no time. The young lady arrives at the pharmacy with her friends. Our MC has prepared a whole set of cosmetic products. He even teaches her how to use them. First, wash your face, then apply a moisturizing toner. Then, evenly apply this whitening lotion to your face. This lotion not only has a whitening effect, but it also works as a sunscreen. That's because our MC added titanium dioxide to it, which can effectively block UV rays. Finally, apply the setting powder. He's added mica powder to this one. After applying it, not only is the whitening effect better, but it also has a shimmering effect. But after wearing it all day, or D, you have to use makeup remover to take it off. It contains ingredients that help repair the skin. As long as you keep up the routine, your skin will become fair even without using whitening powder. After creating this full set of cosmetics, our MC continues to produce a lot of small samples. He gives them out for free to commoners on the street. Thanks to the low price and high quality, not only do his cosmetics sell like crazy, but his medicine sales also start to climb. But with success comes new problems. One day, the young lady and her friends come back to buy more cosmetics. Our MC has to awkwardly tell them they're completely sold out. Business has been so insane lately that they just can't keep up with the demand. That's when the young lady gives him a suggestion. She tells him to spin off the cosmetics line into its own subsidiary company. She'll provide the funding, and she'll also hire professional pharmacists. Of course, our MC will still be the boss. After getting the nod from his head manager, our MC happily accepts the offer. Soon, the cosmetic shop opens. The brand name is Medicis, and she hires only female pharmacists. They're much better at introducing the products. And thus, the world's first beauty counter ladies were born. After both the pharmacy and the cosmetic shop are running smoothly, our MC takes his sister and the others to the territory the Empress gifted his father. They plan to take a week-long vacation. Not only does this place have the largest medicinal fields in the country, but it's also right next to the sea. It's the perfect place to relax your body and mind. Our MC sits on the beach, watching his sister and the pink-haired maid playing in the water. He can't help but think of his sister from his previous life. She was just as cute as Blanche. She would get angry because she was too young and could only watch her big brother play in the sea. Our MC looked at his adorable little sister and could only say, "Next year, when you're 5, I'll take you with me." But fate had other plans. His sister got cancer before she even turned 5. Her wish to play in the sea with her brother would never come true. As our MC sits on the beach reliving this painful memory, tears stream down his face. At that exact moment, a huge wave rises from the sea and sweeps Blanche into the ocean, and she doesn't know how to swim. Seeing this, our MC doesn't have time to think. He sprints into the ocean and swims frantically towards his sister, but the wave has a powerful undercurrent. Our MC can't swim against it, and just then, his sister, exhausted, sinks beneath the waves. Seeing this, our MC dives in after her. He's already lost one sister. This time, he absolutely will not let his sister be taken from him again. This intense desire to save her unleashes a terrifying power within him. He completely eliminates several meters of seawater all around him. Our MC, his sister, and Ellen, who had come to help, all fall to the ocean floor. Ellen stumbles to her feet, not yet understanding what just happened. When she sees our MC holding back the water, creating this vacuum, she is absolutely shaken to her core. She never imagined he possessed such terrifying power. Not only did he eliminate all the water in this area, but even the sand beneath their feet is bone dry. What kind of power does it take to do something like this? With our MC's help, they all get back to shore safely. His sister, terrified from the ordeal, cries in his arms. He quickly activates his divine eye to check if she's okay. Thankfully, no water entered her system. Otherwise, it would have been a serious problem. Ellen, seeing that everyone is safe, immediately asks him what that power was just now. But our MC isn't really sure himself. All he can say is that it might be his negative attribute, divine art. Ellen immediately shoots that idea down, because a negative attribute can, at most, reduce a certain amount. The ability to completely eliminate an entire area like that simply doesn't exist in this world. That night, our MC goes back to his room and thinks it over carefully. At that moment, he was only thinking about eliminating the water molecules of the seawater. He never expected that even the water in the sand on the seabed would be gone. This means he eliminated every single component contained within the seawater. That might have even included the water inside his sister's and Ellen's bodies. If he had only been thinking about water molecules at that time, his sister and Ellen could have died on the spot. It looks like he needs to be much more careful when using this power in the future. Meanwhile, somewhere else, a group of people in white robes gets news of our MC eliminating an entire section of the sea. They issue an order to search the entire country for a person with no shadow. They must eliminate this heretic. A week quickly passes. Our MC is back at the pharmacy. Business is even better than before they left for vacation. Suddenly, he spots two people in white robes. They're acting extremely suspicious. So our MC approaches them and asks what they need, but they don't answer. They just give him a menacing glare and leave. Later, our MC asks the pink-haired maid and Ellen about it. It turns out they've also encountered these people. Ellen had also gone up and asked the white-robed people what they needed, but they just ignored her. They just kept staring at our MC. But right now, they have no information about them. All they can do is tell the guards to be extra vigilant. Early the next morning, the day shift guard takes over from the night shift guard. He takes out his key to open the main gate. But suddenly, a carriage comes charging from behind, and it's pulling a full cart of dirt. After learning his pharmacy has been crashed into, our MC rushes to the scene. He sees a huge hole smashed through the wall. There's mud and dirt everywhere, inside and outside the pharmacy. Thankfully, the pharmacy room itself is undamaged, and Ellen had already moved some of the medicine to the cosmetics shop. So even if the pharmacy can't open today, customers can still buy medicine over there. Just as our MC and the head manager are discussing repairs, their first regular customer, the old man, shows up with a group of young guys. They're all sailors who frequent the sea. They love the pharmacy's little vitamin C candies. So they've all come to help repair the pharmacy. And it's not just them. The neighboring residents have also come to help on their own. Our MC is incredibly moved. He never realized his pharmacy had become so beloved by the common people. Just then, a woman runs in. She says her father collapsed in the heat. She needs our MC to come take a look. He quickly hops on a horse and follows the woman. Following the route she points out, they arrive at a very remote area. The two of them have to dismount and walk. At this point, our MC senses something is off. This place looks completely deserted. When he turns around, the woman has vanished without a trace. Just a moment ago, our MC was tricked by a woman into going to a remote location. By the time he turned around, the woman was long gone. Suddenly, a group of people in white robes on horseback surrounds him. Their leader tells him his name is Solomon. He's an inquisitor of the divine arts. They specialize in eliminating those who misuse divine arts and evil spirits. Because our MC can eliminate matter and has no shadow, they believe he is the embodiment of an evil spirit. Their goal today is to destroy him. Even though our MC tries his best to explain that he's human, Solomon doesn't believe him. There's only one way to prove it. He tells our MC to raise his hands and walk back 10 steps. He then casts a formation specifically designed to capture evil spirits. But to his surprise, the formation has no effect on our MC. This indirectly proves that he isn't an evil spirit, but they still refuse to believe it, and so they attack him. One of the Inquisitors unleashes flames, surrounding our MC. Seeing that they're serious, he's not just going to sit there and take it. He quickly generates a shield of nitrogen gas around himself, successfully dodging the first wave of attacks. Then, he eliminates the surrounding oxygen. The flames are immediately extinguished. This move makes them think he has a negative fire attribute, so they send in the ice attribute Inquisitor. He summons ice spears that fly towards our MC. Our MC raises a hand and generates a shield to block them. He's still trying to explain that he's really a human. He's asking them to stop fighting him, but seeing how powerful he is, they don't care about his life or death and order him to be killed. They all unleash their strongest divine arts. A massive explosion engulfs our MC in smoke. Just as they think he's definitely gone, the smoke clears. Our MC is encased in a huge block of ice, and he hasn't taken a single scratch. But now, he's genuinely angry. I tried to talk to you nicely, and you tried to kill me. Our MC generates a massive iceberg in the sky. He uses this as a threat, telling them to back off. Rather than use this power to fight, he'd rather use it to save people. Just then, Solomon notices the sacred crest on our MC's arm, and combined with his infinite divine power and his shadowless body, and knowing that a god's true form is light, which is why they wouldn't have a shadow, he finally realizes our MC's true identity. Our MC is the medicine god, and the very temple they serve is dedicated to worshipping the guardian gods. Solomon completely loses it. He immediately drops to his knees to beg for forgiveness. His left leg was injured when our MC knocked him out of the sky. He rushes forward and stops Solomon's blade. He simply makes it disappear. Then he activates his divine eye to check Solomon's injury. Based on his initial diagnosis, it looks like an open fracture. The light shifts from blue to white, confirming his diagnosis is correct. So, our MC tentatively suggests amputation as a treatment option, but unexpectedly, the white light turns red. This is something that's never happened before. Our MC deduces that amputation would lead to an infection, causing sepsis. That would actually end up killing Solomon. So instead, our MC suggests a plan to set and repair the bone. And sure enough, the red light turns white, then slowly fades. But there's a problem. Our MC is just a pharmacist. He's never performed surgery before. But in this world, there's no one else who can do it. If Salomon's leg isn't treated within 6 hours, the risk of infection is extremely high. With no other choice, our MC has to do it himself. He first creates a surgical table. Then he sends one of the men to find a carriage to pick them up. Our MC sets up a quarantine tent. This is where he's going to perform the surgery. He's only ever operated on lab animals, but right now, he's the only one who can be the lead surgeon. He first gives Salomon a spinal anesthetic. He injects bupivacaine into the spinal cavity. Then he uses a piece of ice to test the anesthetic's effect. Once the patient is numb, he begins the surgery. Thanks to our MC's efforts, the surgery is a complete success. Although he's not sure how well this emergency procedure will heal, at least Salomon's life is no longer in danger. After this whole ordeal, Salomon's men are endlessly grateful to our MC. All he asks is that they don't tell anyone about what happened. Several months fly by. A fully recovered Salomon arrives at the parallel world pharmacy. He's also been promoted to High Priest of the nation our MC lives in. He declares that from now on he swears his loyalty to our MC. The previous arrest warrant the temple had out for him has been erased. If anyone tries to report anything about our MC in the future, he will personally intercept it. It's just that the look on his face while saying all this is a bit intense. But Salomon has done more than just that. He's also brought a gift for our MC. It's one of the sacred treasures of the Guardian Temple. The staff of the medicine god can not only use all 4 elements, I and D, but it can also be used for combat, diagnosis, and casting healing arts. And it can expand and retract freely. It's incredibly convenient to carry around. The moment our MC picks up the staff, it emits a dazzling light. Salomon quickly explains that this is the holy light. It's a sign that the staff has accepted its new master. Ellen, standing nearby, is incredibly envious. She says she wants to try holding the staff too. But when our MC hands it to her, it passes right through her hand and falls to the ground. It turns out this staff is not of the mortal realm. Only a god can hold it. After picking up the staff, our MC suddenly feels a strange sensation. He asks Salomon if it can fly. Salomon says that, according to the records, it can. So our MC hops on the staff and takes off. After giving his gift, Salomon prepares to leave. But before he goes, he gives our MC one last present. It's a divine talisman that can suppress divine power. When our MC uses it, he can have a shadow just like a normal person. This makes our MC incredibly happy. But this has also attracted the jealousy of his competitors. Because of the parallel world pharmacy's existence, their business and reputation have plummeted. The head of the Commoner Pharmacists Guild, in an attempt to ruin our MC, sent a carriage full of mud to crash into the pharmacy. He thought this would shut our MC down for a while. But with the help of the local community, the pharmacy was back to business in no time. And business was even better than before. Furious, he issued a direct order. Every member of his guild is forbidden from having any contact with the parallel world pharmacy. Anyone who violates this will be expelled from the guild. And without the guild, these commoner pharmacists can't legally run their own shops. But it's this very decision by the guild master that makes their own business plummet. Because now, the parallel world pharmacy is a huge hit with the commoners. Almost everyone goes there to buy our MC's new medicines. A few people still go to the commoner pharmacies occasionally, but that's only because the parallel world pharmacy is too crowded. The truth is, it's not that he won't supply medicine to the commoner pharmacies. It's their own guildmaster who's blocking him at every turn. Back at the pharmacy, our MC discusses it with Ellen. He says he wants to start his own guild. That way, commoner pharmacists can join them and sell his new medicines. It would also solve the overcrowding problem at his own shop. At night, the daughter of a commoner pharmacist's guild member comes down with a high fever. Even though the mother is a pharmacist herself, she has no way to treat it. All she can do is worry. Early the next morning, she takes her daughter to find another doctor for help. But no matter how much she calls out, no one answers. Just then, our MC happens to pass by. He tells her this clinic is closed until next week. If it's an emergency, she can bring her daughter to his pharmacy for treatment. The pharmacist remembers the guildmaster's warning. If she goes there, she'll be expelled from the guild. She'll never be able to open a pharmacy again. She was about to refuse, but seeing her daughter suffering, she can't bring herself to do it. She can only nod and agree. She follows him all the way to the pharmacy's front door. But our MC doesn't take her inside. Instead, he bypasses the crowd and goes to the back door. The The pharmacist feels a pang of resentment. So all nobles are the same. People like me are only fit to use the back door. When they get to the emergency room, our MC puts on his coat and mask. He tells her to put her daughter on the bed. Then he hands her a mask and tells her to put it on too. She's never seen one of these and is a little curious. What's the point of wearing this piece of cloth? Our MC explains that it helps prevent the spread of infection. That's when the pharmacist finally realizes he didn't take her through the front door, not because he looked down on her, but because he was afraid of spreading her daughter's illness to the other customers. Next, our MC takes out a medical chart. He asks the mother for her daughter's name, age, and when she last ate. This completely changes the pharmacist's opinion of him. She never imagined he would be so thorough for just one patient. After asking the basic questions, our MC asks for the girl's weight, but the mother has never measured it, so she doesn't know. Luckily, our MC has invented a weight scale. He tells the mother to hold her daughter and step on. After weighing them, he has her weigh herself alone. The difference between the two will be the daughter's weight. She asks what the point of knowing the weight is. Or MC explains that you have to know the weight to determine the exact dosage of medicine. Too much or too little, and the medicine won't work properly. The pharmacist is completely shocked. Commoner pharmacists like her have always just given children half the adult dose. They would never be as precise as our MC. After a series of examinations, our MC diagnoses the girl's illness. It's just a severe common cold, so he prescribes her a zanamivir inhaler. This medicine is inhaled. In a bit, she'll need to practice how to use it. But right now, the girl's fever is still high. So our MC also prescribes acetaminophen to bring it down. After taking the medicine, he tells the girl to lie down and rest for a while. If she's able to swallow, her mother should give her some water. Our MC has other things to attend to now. He'll be back later to check on her. Watching him leave, the mother feels a deep sense of admiration welling up inside her. She gives him a deep, respectful bow. That night, the mother prepares to go home, carrying her daughter who is almost fully recovered. Our MC gives her a 5-day supply of medicine. He tells her to make sure her daughter takes it on time. If the girl's condition worsens during the night, she can come to the pharmacy anytime and ask the guard to get him. Even though they close at night, he'll get up to see a patient if they need him. At the door, the mother asks how much the medical fee is. She thought it would be very expensive. She says she probably can't pay it all right now. She'll need some time to get the money together. Our MC tells her not to worry. The fee is only the price of a loaf of bread. He wants parents to be able to bring their children in without worrying, so he sets the prices very low. Now, the pharmacist's view of the parallel world pharmacy has completely changed, and she understands why their commoner pharmacies can't compete. When the guildmaster gathers them to discuss how to deal with our MC, she can't stay silent any longer. She stands up and calls everyone out. Have any of you even been to the parallel world pharmacy? Have you seen the medicines they sell? If you haven't, I suggest you go once. If you just go one time, you'll understand why we can't compete with them. Look at us. We're selling things when we don't even know if they work. We use deceptive language to sell to patients. This is a disgrace to pharmacists. This speech sends the guildmaster into a rage. He expels the pharmacist from the guild on the spot. He then sends people to confiscate her business license and medicine. They even trash her shop, leaving it in ruins. The pharmacist had taken out a loan to open that shop. Now that she's been kicked out of the guild, her source of income is completely cut off. They can no longer make a living in this country. Just then, our MC passes by. He recognizes the woman as the one who brought her daughter to him for treatment. Our MC tells her that he actually got approval from the Empress a few days ago to register a new guild. If she joins, she can sell and compound the new medicines from his pharmacy. Soon, the first partner shop of the parallel world pharmacy is about to open. The pharmacist carefully checks if all the medicines are arranged properly. She's terrified of making even the smallest mistake. She walks to the door with a nervous heart. She hesitates, unable to open the door. She's afraid no customers will come. This isn't the parallel world pharmacy, and our MC isn't here. What if no one is willing to come? Just then, her daughter tugs on her sleeve. And now, to help his daughter, he's going to save all of these people. All of these people must be saved. Just how terrifying is the Black Death? The Black Death, also known as the Plague, was a massive outbreak in medieval Europe. It wiped out half of the continent's population. If you get the bubonic plague, you might have a slim chance of survival. But once you contract the pneumonic plague, the mortality rate is nearly 100%. One day, our MC's father receives a letter from his older brother. He's studying at the best medical school in the world. Everyone thought the letter meant he was preparing to come home. But our MC's father says with a grave expression that his return might have to be postponed for a while. After reading the letter, he calls our MC into his office. His father tells him that his older brother wrote in the letter that on a small island in a neighboring country, a strange contagious disease has broken out. Of the more than 1,000 people on the island, there were no survivors. Although everyone has died, stopping the epidemic from spreading, but their cargo has already been loaded onto ships. See, in a little while, our MC's country is going to hold a massive month-long festival. Merchants from all over the world will be coming to the capital, and that includes the ships carrying cargo from that infected island. And the port where these ships will dock is in the Marseille territory, the land the Empress gifted to his father. So they have to take action now. Our MC quickly asks if his brother has any samples of the pathogen. His father can only reply with a heavy heart that his brother's school's top research team did bring back some samples for testing. But not only did they fail to find a cure, they also got 2 of their researchers infected. The first person who got infected suddenly developed a raging fever, and their hands and feet turned necrotic. Even their skin turned black. Fearing the disease would spread, they had no choice but to cremate the body, which means no samples were left. But his brother's school did get one of the microscopes our MC invented, so there might be a sketch of the pathogen from when they examined it. Hearing there's still a chance, he tells his father to write a letter asking his brother to send a copy over. Soon, a message from his brother arrives by carrier pigeon. The pink-haired maid quickly brings it to our MC. He opens the copy of the sketch and takes a look. It's just as he suspected. That strange disease is the Black Death. The festival is less than 2 weeks away. They have to start implementing quarantine measures immediately. Our MC first sends out 2 of Ellen's students. After teaching them how to test for the Black Death, he has them go to his father's territory to set up a quarantine station. Then, he and Ellen go to the office to discuss a plan with his father. But when faced with the Black Death, all his father can do is try to contain it, because they have no medicine that can fight it. That's when our MC tells them he has a treatment. It's called levofloxacin. It's a drug that's effective against the Black Death. Although right now only he can synthesize it, he'll quickly synthesize the necessary amount and then give it to the pharmacy to be packaged. After settling on a plan, they go to the Empress. They ask her to set up controls at all the city gates and to restrict all merchant caravans coming to the capital, forcing them to enter the city only through a designated route. In addition, they need to set up inspection stations at the gates. This part of the job will be handled by the pharmacy staff. Also, the Black Death is transmitted to humans by rats and fleas. So our MC asks the Empress to have the residents clear out all rats and fleas and to disinfect their clothing with boiling water. After the Empress issues the order, the epidemic prevention work begins in an orderly fashion. Quarantine stations are set up all over the capital. Our MC then improves upon the Leeuwenhoek microscope and creates a compound microscope. The field of view and magnification are much greater than before. It also reduces the risk of contaminating the sample. Thanks to the hard work of the pharmacy staff, raw medicine our MC created is processed into powder. 1,000 doses are packaged and distributed to various pharmacies and quarantine stations. If an outbreak occurs, their pharmacy will provide these treatments for free. After getting everything in order in the capital, our MC and Ellen travel to the Marseille territory. This is the front line in the fight against the Black Death. They have to inspect every ship that comes to the island. While most of the merchant ships are very cooperative and actively submit to our MC's inspections, there's also a small group of people who look down on him because he's just a kid and refuse to cooperate with the quarantine measures. Just as our MC is wondering what to do, a voice rings out. It's the old man who always comes to his pharmacy to buy vitamin C. Now, our MC's question is finally answered. The old man is the admiral of the Empire's strongest fleet, the Flying Rainbow. That's why he's always out at sea. With some powerful military muscle to back him up, those who weren't cooperating have no choice but to quietly submit to the inspection. After our MC finishes the inspections, he's just returned to the tent to write today's report when someone comes to report an emergency. In a small fishing village west of Marseille, some people who couldn't wait for the inspection smuggled themselves ashore through the village. Now, an outbreak has started in that village, and it has already caused several deaths. Our MC can't just sit here. He has to go there immediately. So he leaves the port in Ellen's hands. To speed things up, our MC takes out his divine staff and prepares to fly. With the help of the staff, he quickly arrives at the fishing village. Just then, a group of people is pulling a cart, preparing to flee the village. Our MC sees them and quickly lands to block their path. He tells them that leaving now is just a dead end. and they'll also spread the Black Death. Their only chance of survival is to go back and get treatment. But they see that he's just a kid, and clearly don't believe him. With that, they try to force their way out. This makes our MC furious. Seeing that our MC has such immense power, the villagers are stunned and don't dare to flee anymore. At this point, our MC takes off his hat and reveals his identity as a court pharmacist. Only now are the villagers willing to cooperate with his quarantine efforts. At the village hall, our MC takes out a map and tells everyone that he will divide the entire village into 3 zones: a critical zone, an infected zone, and a non-infected zone. This separation will effectively prevent cross-contamination. After dividing the areas, our MC puts on a hazmat suit and goes to the quarantine area. This is where all the infected people with symptoms are. Our MC walks through the door. The people inside see that it's just a kid and shout at him to leave. Luckily, one of them is an inquisitor he'd fought before. He reveals our MC's identity as the medicine god. And just like that, the misunderstanding is cleared up. Our MC activates his divine eye and diagnoses everyone present. 12 of them are infected with the Black Death. 2 have other illnesses. 1 is deceased. Our MC gives the Black Death patients levofloxacin. As for the patients with other illnesses, after taking their medicine, they can go home after a 14-day quarantine. After doing all this, he orders the Inquisitor to find the people who smuggled themselves ashore and their cargo. Meanwhile, back in the capital, our MC's father calls a retiring old professor into his office. He specializes in microbiology, but in this world, the concept of microorganisms isn't widespread yet, so his research funding has been steadily shrinking. This time, he thinks he's being called in to have his funding cut completely. He can't help but feel dejected. But our MC's father tells him that he has a new report for him. He needs him to identify a new type of microorganism and extract a substance from it to make a new drug. This microorganism grows by extending mycelia. It's a species of streptomyces in the actinobacteria group. The old professor takes the report and looks at it closely. He says he started cultivating this exact actinobacteria in his lab years ago. Back in the lab, the old professor is ecstatic. He never imagined that his neglected little laboratory would one day be able to save the world. Although they have the actinobacteria, the new drug can't be made overnight. They still have a lot of work to do. Back in the fishing village, our MC has the epidemic under control. All that's left is for the villagers to manage it properly and not let anyone enter or leave freely. They also need to deal with rats and other animals to prevent another outbreak. After 14 days, they can lift the lockdown. After giving his instructions, our MC gets on his staff and flies off. In the sky, he sees thick smoke in the distance. He guesses it's the Inquisitors burning the smugglers' cargo, so he quickly flies over. As he lands, he sees the captured smugglers. They've fallen ill and don't have the strength to go on, so they were abandoned here by their companions. Our MC asks them who their accomplices are, but they're tight-lipped. They refuse to talk. With no other choice, our MC has to threaten them. You're already infected with the Black Death. If you don't take this medicine, you will die. I have the medicine right here. If you want it, you'll talk. To save their own lives, they have no choice but to give up the information. Their cargo consists of 2 textile machines, a box of spices, and a cage of white squirrels. The cargo was transported from the island infected with the Black Death. There were 24 porters in total, and 5 paladins. Hearing this, our MC feels a sense of dread. The source of the infection must be those white squirrels, and there were 5 paladins escorting them. Paladins only serve the nobility. For them to be traveling with these commoners, there's definitely a conspiracy afoot. Our MC thinks back to when the Empress had the White Death. It was probably these same people who orchestrated it. Back in the capital, the pink-haired maid is handing out masks on the street. She's telling everyone entering the city to wear one. This will greatly reduce the transmission rate of the Black Death. Just then, a quarantine worker rushes towards the tent. He's carrying a problematic sample. The inspectors at the other gates couldn't identify it, so they sent it over for the pharmacy staff to take a look. The pharmacy worker takes the sample and places it under the microscope. The image is identical to the sketch our MC drew. It's definitely the Black Death. He immediately sends people to find that person and quarantine them. Suddenly, a loud explosion rocks the city gate. It's the 5 paladins who came with the cargo ship. They've attacked the gate. Although the guards dropped the portcullis, it was shattered with a single blow. After entering the city and taking down the guards, the paladins wheel out a cage. Before anyone can figure out what's happening, a paladin uses a sacred wind spell to launch the cage into the air. The white squirrels inside scatter in all directions. They quickly land in various corners of the city. A nearby pharmacy worker quickly realizes what's happening. They're trying to spread the epidemic using the squirrels. He quickly tells the guards to sound the alarm bell. When the people in the city hear the bell, they all understand that the capital's epidemic defense has been breached. The Empress summons our MC's father and others to discuss a plan. They need to figure out who the mastermind behind this is. Just then, our MC's father thinks of someone. He says to the Empress, "The person who could orchestrate this epidemic must be someone very familiar with the Black Death. Back in university, I had a classmate. Although he was a genius in medicine, he loved to use living people for cruel experiments. This person lacked the basic conscience and morals of a human being. His actions quickly attracted the attention of the Inquisition. The Inquisitors sealed his divine arts, stripped him of his nobility, and exiled him. But before he was exiled, he used a large number of prisoners for poison experiments, and the poison he created was a human-to-human transmitted disease. This Black Death outbreak is most likely his doing." Meanwhile, at the city gate, the paladins are battling the guards. Just as the guards are about to be overwhelmed, Solomon arrives with the Inquisitors. He strips the paladins of their divine power, so they can no longer cause trouble. Just then, our MC and his father arrive. They come across the guards interrogating the paladins. It turns out they had no idea what they were transporting, so they were abandoned here by their companions. They didn't know their purpose was to spread the Black Death. They were just possessed by an evil spirit and threatened with the lives of all their countrymen to do this. At that moment, our MC's father steps forward and asks if that man has a burn scar on his left cheek. After getting a yes, our MC's father knows who the mastermind is. It's his former classmate Camus. With the paladin situation handled, the alarm bell finally stops ringing. Elsewhere, the pink-haired maid, seeing the crisis is over, insists on going back to check on the pharmacy. Even though the head manager tries his best to stop her, she dashes off before he can even finish his sentence. At that moment, our MC, using his divine eye, sees a dark figure on the upper floor of the pharmacy. That has to be Camus. He quickly tells the guards to sound the alarm again, then sprints over. The pink-haired maid and the manager arrive at the pharmacy. They see the windows on the upper floor are wide open. They think our MC must be back. Just then, the alarm bell rings again. The head manager doesn't have time to think. He figures it's safer to get inside the pharmacy first. But he's a little confused. We definitely closed all the windows when we left. The door was locked, so how could the windows be open? Before he can figure it out, the pink-haired maid rushes upstairs to find our MC. The maid opens the door to the compounding room. Our MC isn't in there. Looks like she was just seeing things. Just then, the head manager catches up to her, but he's barely said a word when Camus appears behind him and stabs him. Hearing the sound, the maid turns around, but it's already too late. At that moment, our MC arrives downstairs. He activates his divine eye and sees a collapsed patient upstairs, and Camus is standing right next to them. He realizes something is terribly wrong. Just then, his father rushes up. They go upstairs together to see what's happening. Arriving at the compounding room, they burst through the door. Camus is looking at the medicine on the shelves, and both the maid and the head manager are lying on the floor. His father puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "I'll handle Camus. You save them." Our MC quickly activates his divine eye to see what's wrong with them. He sees both wounds glowing red. They must have been hit with a deadly poison. He tries diagnosing drug poisoning, but that's not it. Inorganic, organic, and alkaloid poisons are all incorrect. Meanwhile, the duel between his father and Camus is raging on. But as an evil spirit, Camus' power has grown immensely. His father is quickly losing the upper hand. Over here, our MC finally figures it out. The easiest poison to obtain in this world would be from aconite. He diagnoses it as aconitine poisoning. The red light flickers. Our MC quickly eliminates the aconitine, but after the red light disappears, it reappears. It seems there's more than one poison. He tries diagnosing several other poisons, but they're all wrong. Finally, he says, "Curare," and the light reacts. After he eliminates it, the red light finally vanishes. The lives of the maid and the manager are saved. But by now, his father has been defeated by Camus. Camus walks over to the medicine shelf. He picks up a bottle of white phosphorus and says to our MC, "You have so many unknown poisons. You should be just like me. One day, the world will misunderstand you, and you'll become an evil spirit just like me." But our MC is different. His heart is filled with justice. He's not going to listen to Camus' nonsense. With a single punch, he sends him flying out of the pharmacy. After defeating Camus, our MC and the others throw themselves back into fighting the epidemic. They distribute free medicine in the affected areas. Finally, they successfully cultivate Streptomyces bacteria. With that, they produce a new antibiotic, and the Black Death is finally brought under control. 2 months later, the capital reports 0 new cases of the Black Death. Their fight against the epidemic has finally succeeded. The parallel world pharmacy reopens, and life returns to its former peace.